I still have no idea what to call this, let alone what to categorize it as. But hey folks, how we doing? It's TGSR night, and it's like an hour later than normal. I forgot the tweet that's saying we were going to start an hour later, because Tommy told me, hey, we're going to start an hour later, and I was like, alright, cool, and then I forgot the tweet saying we were doing so. Fortunately, still doesn't mean I get to watch the Pokemon Snap Run. Dang it! I have to watch it tomorrow, because I'm probably going to crash out after we do TGSR tonight. I don't know what it is, I'm just not feeling... I'm feeling low power mode, essentially. I think I just didn't sleep well last night. It's probably just all it is. But I have enjoyed GDQ all day. I got the rest of the notes done for TGSR. Then it was all done before GDQ this morning. Or like, not really this morning, this afternoon, technically, because it didn't start till like 12 for me. But got notes and stuff done before that. Checked out a couple things. Remembered, alright, Ghost Game's still going on, because Spy Family's done, apparently. It's odd where they left off the show, because I've skimmed through the manga, and I'm like, that's weird. I don't know why they've ended it off on this episode, especially after they teased a certain thing, but it's fucking alright, sure. Whatever. But, yeah. Still got Digimon Ghost Game. I need to watch the Ruby spin-off show that they're doing. Ice Queendom, which... now that I've seen a trailer that kind of like gets more into what the show is, I'm like, that's where all of this alt-universe stuff is coming in from. That we keep saying, that was all like the art and stuff for this, because it's like, for those that don't know, this Ice Queendom stuff started with like a teaser image of like Weiss in like a Atlas military uniform flanked by like dozens of Atlas robots. And it's like, oh, this is Evil Weiss. And then I saw, I think it's probably the most recent trailer, has this new character talking about dreams and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's not Evil Weiss, that's Nightmare Weiss. We're getting to see a Weiss nightmare that is, this is the worst scenario. Or a dream of hers, where it's like, this is what I want to be, except it gets twisted and all that hoopla, so... it makes sense. It all makes sense now. I also saw that we got the black and white. Like, for those that have seen it, bear in mind that is the black and white version of the logo. That is not the full color version of the logo. We're probably not going to see the full color version of the logo for a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, Geats' logo has made the rounds. The stylized A reminds me of the Axel A that they use for his V-Cinema. And that's about all I got, because I'm not going to spend 20 hours speculating wildly on the design of this stuff and it mean nothing. Because I don't know what any of it means, and I'm just not going to spend the time on that, so... in the meantime, we've got a wizard logo to finish up. That's just a straight line. Kind of. That is unfortunately not a straight line. I need to get back to Dicey Dungeons. It's been a while since I... Alright. We'll have to... The Geats logo, that's legitimate. It came from the trademark bot that posts trademark stuff all the time. The Geats logo is legitimate. That is your next writer show. What does it mean? Fuck if I know. Just be aware it's a black and white version of the logo. We'll get colors eventually on it. And I do mean eventually. That's the name! Look, I don't know what to tell you. Geats, as it is spelled on that logo, is what we had so long ago as the trademark of that is the next writer show, and this is how it is spelled. What? It's a name of an ancient Viking tribe. Like, legitimately, it is the name of an ancient Viking, or technically it's a pre-Viking tribe, because it predates proper Viking culture. I'm aware. I know what you mean. There's a few more straight edges on this than I thought. We'll see about there. I have not, because mainly because I bought. Oh. Because I picked up Fire Emblem Three Hopes, and I don't need anything else on Steam at the moment. As much as if you go look at my wish list, it says otherwise. Very nice. Need to get this. You know what? It'll do. Ah. Come on. I would figure as much on that one. But yeah, I've seen people endlessly speculate on what the fuck this logo means and pick it apart, and I'm like, guys, it's not gonna help. We know nothing. Please stop. Please stop. Please, I'm begging you. Yeah, weirdly enough, that design actually dropped before this past week's episode because it was on the poster for the Revice movie that was tweeted out and stuff. We all assumed it was a movie writer. We were not expecting it in show until, this week's episode where it's, the whole scene with the Veil Driver and then the preview was just like, oh, that's not a movie thing. That's just a show thing. Well, timing. Wrong person with the wrong vice stamp. Genta doesn't use Triceratops. He uses Hercules beetle. George's dad is using Triceratops for a thing that is not that rider. I don't know what he's using Triceratops for, but the wrong dad on that one. I thought you were talking about Genta. Oh, okay. Because the Genta has a rider form thing as well. Yeah. I figured out that's what you were talking about after a bit. I was just like, oh, right. We have two dads doing things. Duh. Wrong dad. Need to pull that out. Very nice. I will recommend this. One has a lot of jank to it. Two is probably the best put together game of the franchise. Ah, damn. I see. Have you played any other Kingdom Hearts besides 3, I guess? Because I unfortunately have played too many. Oh. Okay, like I said, one's got a lot of jank to it. Two is the best put together game of the franchise in terms of gameplay. There's a reason me and Tommy do Cage 2 randomizers all the time, because it is the best gameplay. Chain of Memories is an oddball. It's card-based. Don't think about it too much. It just is. Birth by Sleep is fine. Yeah, then you kind of feel a little bit... Like, I don't think you'll feel it as much at the moment, but once you go to laters, you're like, this feels a little janky. It feels a little like... This is the first game of the series. It's got that first game, like, jitters to it. But, like, 1 is fine. 2, I think, is just a better game in general. At least from a gameplay stand. We're not getting into the conversation. Aw, you're getting the pup. Good for you. I hope he is a good boy. Or girl. Whichever one it turns out to be. You know, you say that, and I think it's... I think that's what ours is a mix of. Or at least that's what my dad thinks it is. He's primarily a husky with some German Shepherd mixed in. So, like, hopefully he's not as much of a brat as ours is at times. Hopefully he's more well-behaved. But yeah, Birth by Sleep is fine. I just think it has some things that are not great with it. 3D, on the other hand, can kiss my ass. I do not like Kingdom Hearts 3D. Aw, he's adorbs. He is adorable. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3D can kiss my ass. It sucks. I hate it. Its Pokemon minigame for all your abilities and stuff is just terrible. And that final boss sucks. I hate it. I hate that final boss. It is the worst final boss I've ever had to play. I would like to never play 3D again if I can help it. Need to delete that line. Alright, we're gonna have to go in and get it. That is not what you're supposed to do.
Hello.
Hello.
What are we doing today?
I am doing some CAD stuff because it's a thing I've wanted to do on stream.
Some what?
CAD stuff, computer-aided design stuff.
Oh, CAD. Like AutoCAD?
SolidWorks, but yes.
Fair enough. I had some experience with AutoCAD when I was younger in high school.
It is what I got taught on for my degree for one class, and I was always told by a classmate how much AutoCAD sucked. And considering
Yeah,
it crashed on me, hard crashed on me, because its Windows 10 version at the time was unstable, I had to agree. Especially because he was on
yeah.
our SVT for our SVT team for college, and they got to use SolidWorks, which apparently is cheaper than AutoCAD. I wouldn't know.
I dealt with AutoCAD and a very tiny amount with Maya, and I didn't like either of them.
I'm doing stuff in AutoCAD because people, for the jobs I'm looking for, specifically ask for AutoCAD experience. Or for, not AutoCAD, for SolidWorks experience. And I'm like, yes, I have used SolidWorks. Oh, this will be fun. What I'm specifically working on is etching in Wizard's logo into a plate I've made that plugs into a candy toy base. Most of it is etched. It's just the dragon part in the outer ring that I haven't done yet, and that one's fun. There's not a whole lot of straight lines in it. Let's see, I've gone 20 minutes, and I'm not even done with the head of the dragon in the circle.
Mm.
It took me the entire stream to do the center emblem part of it. That is like Wizard's face. It took the entire stream to do that, and then all of the assorted rings in it.
Damn.
It will probably take me the rest of the stream to maybe get half of this dragon done. I am not doing the full spell seal. Fuck that. This is like half the spell seal. For anyone's information. Like, I have the full wizard spell seal because I've done some Photoshop work with it. This is like a quarter of it. Let me see if I can find an image of it real quick. Oh, I just saw it and I clicked on something else. Come on. Come over here. And kill. Yeah, for reference, folks, this is the entire spell seal for Wizard. I am not doing all of this as an engraving. No. That will take an eternity.
Nah, no, it won't. You got it. I believe in you.
You're not even looking at it, are you?
No, not at all. I'm in the middle of playing Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Just for your reference in the Discord.
For reference in the Discord.
Yes.
Oh, oh my.
Bear in mind, I am just engraving that center part. Like, with the wizard's face and the dragon, and then, like, the two outer rings from there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is all I'm engraving, because that's the proper logo for wizard. Everything else, no. I'm not doing the runes, that outer ring with the 4 gemstones, and the other outer ring with the more runes. No. Granted, at the scale I'm working at, it wouldn't even come out right anyway, because it's way too intricate for what I'm doing. But yeah, no, that will take an eternity.
Fair enough.
Because anything that is not a straight line, I have to do a spline with and have to pick it out by points, and I have to kind of just eyeball that shit and hope for the best. Like some of these runes that are just straight lines and stuff, yeah, that's like 5 minutes work and that'll be done. But like everything else that isn't a straight line, these half circles, I have to like get the main circle in, and then like do a half circle, and then trim the half circle, or do a full circle, then trim that down to a half circle after I have already put in the first circle to have a trimming point to do. It's work. It's work. I enjoy this work, but it is work. And it is work I'm not willing to do.
Fair enough.
Especially when Kuga's took like 5 minutes. Because it is all straight lines.
Yeah. I'll be right back. You might hear me in the background. I'm gonna fix me a sandwich.
Mm. I was about to say that was a dragon head, but no. Nope. Didn't do the eye.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Mm.
So you sound like it's enough to genuinely frustrate you. Do you not enjoy it, or
What?
doing these emblems and stuff? Because
No, I enjoy them. It's just the case of, like, it takes time. And when when having to do a spline, is I don't know, I guess I haven't explained this. A spline is me having to more or less connect the dots, but placing every dot individually in order to get like an oddball curve of something. And I just have to eyeball that because there's no good way of doing this otherwise. At least as far as I know. It's just one of those, this takes time.
gotcha.
It's a lot. It takes time and effort. It's just like, I still enjoy it. It's just one of those like, this is gonna take forever.
Fair enough.
And sometimes the spline decides to not be cooperative and start giving me like oddball curves and stuff. I should just make that a straight line. I don't know why I'm trying to do that as a spline. And I'm sure there's like an easier way to do this. Granted, there is a... Blech, where is it? I know it's called something. Sketch tools. Sketch picture option in here, but it doesn't work for the stuff I'm doing. At least it wouldn't work for something complex like this because it just uses circles and straight lines. And like, that's not gonna cut it for most of this shit.
Right.
So it's just, gotta do this by hand. Like, I'll be honest, I would not mind doing this as a job if someone would pay me for it, but, well. Engineering positions around here are few and far between, and entry-level positions are fewer still.
Fair enough.
Of course, I might get a new logo whenever they confirm if this is the proper logo or not in the next few weeks, because we got the logo for the next writer show. Well, a black and white version of it. Because it hit the it got copyrighted and bots and stuff picked it up.
Volume of the game down. It kind of flooded. All right, talk for me.
Hello?
Okay, that's better.
You can see it in the Discord, and don't ask me about the name. I don't even know. That's been a conversation for weeks since the first trademark came out.
Kamen Rider Geeks?
Yes.
What in the hell?
Do you remember Beowulf at all?
Yes.
Do you remember what Beowulf's tribe is named?
No. I'm assuming it's Geeks.
Yes. That was everyone's assumption for weeks. Whether or not that is the case, fuck if I know. There's not really anything that, suggests that origin, especially when apparently the Japanese spelling for Geats, for, that tribe, is different than this Japanese spelling. So, it might not even be that. It's just a coincidence it's the same English spelling.
What the hell?
Like, I don't know. People are throwing everything against the wall and hoping it's right. And honestly, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm willing to wait.
Fair enough.
Because right now, people are assuming it is gear plus kitsune, which gets you the expelling of Geats. But then again, like, the fuck does anything of that logo, which I'll show this logo on stream, because for anyone who maybe has not seen this logo, because it's made the rounds on Twitter. The fuck does any of this make you think Kitsune? All I see is a G, an E, a T, and an S that look like spray painted. I think so.
And then a fucking massive A.
Yes, a very stylized A that reminds me of the stylized A they used for the Axel V Cinema. But that there's no correlation there. There's just two stylized A's in the center of the logo. Like, at least with some of the others, we had something to go off of. Let me see if I can grab the others. I'll show these on stream. That's not the ones I was looking for. I was looking for the Saber one. Because also bear in mind, this logo is in black and white. This is not the full color version. Saber's logo. At least with Saber's logo, you can see, the book, the kind of sword, possibly pen motif in the logo. Like, there's things to pull from there. I don't know what the fuck to pull from this Gates logo. I just called it Gates instead of Geats. Because it is Geats, not Gates.
Who the hell knows?
We'll find out in, like, about a month, I think. I have to see when the Revice movie drops. Revice movie drops... July 22nd. Supposedly, maybe, kind of... Or supposedly, maybe, Geats will be appearing in that movie. Which, possible. I don't know. It's not a guarantee. Or a full guarantee, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll get an idea then. But until then... bleh. Especially when they're like, hey, here's this poster. Here's this writer that you've never seen before. Ah, it must be in the movie, correct? No, we just showed it off 2 days early in the in the poster. You'll get to see it in show next week. Surprise!
Mhm.
Especially when everyone's like, that's the new writer! And then 5 seconds later, everyone looked at the belt and went, oh, wait, no, that's a belt from this show. Oh, that's this show. That's not the next show. Oops, jumped the gun on that one.
Just a little bit.
Aw, what'd you call the puppers, Charizard? Fair enough. That is a good name for a dog.
I did not see. What did he name the puppy?
Clifford.
Clifford?
Yes.
That's great.
Granted, that now reminds me of the stand-in they used for that Clifford movie. That very horrific-looking thing. The stand-in for the big CGI dog. For that Clifford movie that came out, and I think everyone has forgotten about.
Was it any good or bad?
I have no idea. No one talked about it.
I mean, do you blame them?
I guess it was bad then, because Charizard says we don't talk about it, and I'm like, ah, it was terrible then. Fantastic. No wonder no one talks about it.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can find an image. Ah, there it is. Yes, perfect. Fantastic. That's what they used on set to stand in for Clifford.
Oh, let me see. Oh my.
Horrifying, isn't it?
That's hilarious.
Yep. I need to bring that out. Just the tiniest bit more. I just assume it didn't do well because, no one talks about it at all. So I'm like, it must have done poorly. Oh well.
And yet somehow the Sonic movies did well.
Apparently those are good.
Yeah, they are. I've watched both of them. They're not bad.
I still haven't. I unfortunately decided to watch the entirety of the Halo show.
I stopped, and apparently I stopped the episode before Master Chief got laid.
Oh, you missed the good stuff.
Quote unquote good stuff. Sure.
Oh, you missed Chief doing a war crime.
From what I understand, Chief banged the character that doesn't exist.
Okay, so context for everyone who maybe have not watched the Halo show. There is this human girl that the Covenant picked up because she is a reclaimer, because reclaimers in the Halo show are now very specific people that have the genetic stuff to activate all the fancy Forerunner things instead of, anyone who's human. So they picked her up and, she's now, a part of the Covenant now because she believes the Kool-Aid. She got herself captured on purpose, masquerading as like a hostage the Covenant had, and they let her go because, you know, they got an artifact thing. And she was being taken back to Reach so that the Covenant can get the other artifact thing, because it's a 2-in-1 deal. You've got the bigger one, and then you got the smaller one that goes in the bigger one. As she was being held for questioning and stuff, because she is technically a prisoner.
Technically? I would say definitely.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She was held against her will. Kind of.
Well, her and Chief hit it off, had a thing, and then the next episode, they decide to have the sex. It gets better. Because guess what happened after she had the sex?
You got pregnant.
No. She did a face turn.
So she turned good?
Yes. She was on Chief's side and told them all the important things until Halsey decided to go, I'm the main bad guy of the series because Covenant? What Covenant? There's barely any Covenant in this series. Halsey's technically a bad guy. Decided to sick the other Spartans on Chief, except for the one that also pulled out her inhibitor chip thing. And she tried to go get help for Chief, and they're like, you're not supposed to be in here. And then they shocked her, and then she realized, oh, my trauma, and then turned back to being evil.
Fucking what?
You heard me!
I heard you, but you're not making sense right now.
This show don't make a goddamn lick of sense, and trust me, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the last, I believe 3 episodes you missed out on.
Just, what the fuck?
Trust me, it gets better. Trust, the end of that show, because I was cackling when the whole sex scene happened, because I'm like, they're gonna do the thing, aren't they? They're gonna bone, aren't they? And when they started boning, I was just like, damn.
This is not legal.
It was such schlocky, bad writing. I couldn't help but laugh. And then the show kept turning. And I'm like, this show nosedived so hard after being fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was fine. If this was not called Halo, nobody would give a shit. But since it was called Halo, people gave a shit.
Yeah. I mean,
but then
even with it being called Halo, the weird thing is it could have been fine. It wasn't an awful Halo show either in the beginning. The action scenes were fucking great. What few and far between action scenes they had.
You mean that action scene we had every 3 episodes?
Yes. Specifically the one where the Covenant fucking bombard them and ambush them on what's that planet that Chief is apparently from?
I don't remember that planet. That one planet.
That fucking action scene has to be one of the best Halo action scenes live action to date.
But you know what's
I thought that was fucking impressive. And the drama that I was watching unfold, oh God.
You know, they claim to have spent $10 million an episode on that series.
What?
I say claim because I refuse to believe they actually spent $10 million an episode. They spent an average of $10 million an episode. They did not spend $10 million an episode, period.
No, there's no fucking way. That is an average because those action scenes costed so fucking much money.
But yeah, no. You want to hear how this series ends?
Series or season? Are they because? Okay, I was about to say, did they cancel?
No, they're already greenlit for a second season before the show even premiered. Of
course they fucking are.
So, Covenant Lady gets the artifact away. Halsey also runs away. She supposedly gets arrested, except it's a Flash clone. So Halsey gets away and gets to continue to be a bad guy. The other Spartans are on Chief's side now. Also, Chief's hooked up with Cortana. That'll be important in about 5 minutes. So they figure out where the Covenant have taken the artifacts to open up the map to tell them where the Halo is. Because that's what all the artifacts do, is tell you where the Halo ring is. I say Halo ring singular because they have not mentioned there is multiple. And for all I know, there is only the one ring in this series.
Fucking what?
Yes. So, Chief and the Spartans go there. They beat up some Covenant and stuff, and they try to claim the artifact, except Chief can't touch the artifact because he locks up. Because he gets pulled to some dream world thing with Covenant Lady that's on the Halo ring, in quotes. But Chief tries to stop her. It doesn't work. She gets shot by one of the other Spartans, so Chief breaks out of it. Breaks out of this trance thing he's in. All the other Spartans ended up injured because too many Covenant. And Chief has the brilliant idea of, oh, Cortana can puppet my body, because that's a thing Cortana can do in this series, by the way. And she's
I feel like I'm having a brain aneurysm.
Don't worry, it gets better. So
by better, do you mean better or do you mean worse?
That depends entirely on your perspective of things, because I say better because, oh boy, did it go south so hard. I can't stop laughing about it. So Chief gets injured enough that he's knocked unconscious, so Cortana starts controlling his body and is able to pick up the artifact and call in their Pelican for air support, which is something she probably should have done the entire fight, but she just decided to wait till now when everyone's injured. Evacs all the Spartans, evacs the artifacts, and they get away, but Chief is unconscious and Cortana is controlling his not dead corpse. And she hasn't told the other Spartans that she's the one controlling his body. That is how this show ends. For season 1.
I can't be the only one looking at this and just... What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people like it, but other people I have watched are just, I've seen, they're just like, well, this was certainly a thing I watched. I'm in the camp.
It had such good intentions in the beginning. I mean, there was some weird shit in the beginning, you know, introducing a random person that doesn't exist in the Halo universe, but you know, we were able to forgive it. It was an interesting kind of story, but...
Except she does nothing all season.
Yeah.
And then there's also Quan.
Yeah.
Quan, who I swear should have been cut from the show from minute 1, because God, does she not give anything to the series.
It really doesn't. Although, I will admit, Mercenary Guy was fucking cool.
Yes, he's also from the Halo universe, because he's from a book.
I thought he was fucking cool. I thought that was a fantastic addition to the show.
Too bad he's tied up with Quan's storyline, and I'm like, I wish he wasn't here, which means you're gone, but I think that would be better off. You would be better off.
It would make so much more sense if he was helping Chief.
Yeah.
It would make so much more sense. Like, holy fuck.
But yeah,
I thought the show was becoming kind of self-aware, and then I dropped off after that episode before that, and then heard about that, and I went, oh, hard left turn. Okay.
I will tell you this. No one talked about this show unless they were actively reviewing it until that fucking sex scene happened. And then every fucking news outlet had to report on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, that is the only way they have drummed up interest in this series.
Yeah.
Granted, apparently it's like one of the highest like viewed things on Paramount Plus. You know, the streaming service that the only other important thing on it is all flavors of Star Trek.
Yeah, but it also has Bar Rescue, which is nice.
I was about to say, I could not tell you thing one of what is original on Paramount Plus besides whatever flavor of Star Trek they decided to put on there this year.
The fucking Western show that almost every middle-aged fantasizes over. 1843 or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the show my parents watch.
My mom is fucking obsessed with it, and I think it's fucking stupid. 1883, that's what it is.
But yeah, the Halo show is taking a turn, and I literally tweeted the Shawn Michaels laugh from Raw after I watched the episode with the sex scene, because I'm like, I was expecting this show, the show was fine. I didn't expect it to take this bad of a turn down. Because, like, the sex scene isn't the problem. It's the context of the sex scene and all of the writing around it that is absolute garbage. I do not give two shits that Chief fucked. It's the fact that they had Chief fuck a character that barely had anything to her character, even though it was an interesting concept. Have her do a face turn because the sex was so good. And then immediately turn back because she was reminded of her trauma. Just screams schlock. It's just such schlocky bad writing that I'm like, wow, fuck this show. There's no coming back from this. These two characters have no chemistry. None.
I really wanted it to be good. I really did. I had all the hope on earth for this show, and it just shot itself in the foot so many times. Initially, a couple shots to the foot, you know what, whatever, I'll forgive, but holy shit.
That is more than I had, because I was not expecting anything from the show.
I mean, I had hope because I thought maybe they learned from the YouTube Halo series stuff that came out, you know? And maybe they learned from that god-awful fucking Halo show that came out right before 5 came out. Ugh.
Oh, the Locke one?
As much as the actor that does Locke is a phenomenal actor, that show is fucking horrible. That actor is great. He's a fucking great actor. I've seen him in other shit. He doesn't do terrible work. That show is written fucking horribly. And then fucking the YouTube series, the YouTube Halo series, I think it Forward Unto Dawn. That's what it was called.
Okay, that one. I was just like, wait, which web series? Because I'm like, I don't remember which one's which.
I legitimately enjoyed Forward Unto Dawn. I thought it was a good, small series. And I know there are people that fucking hated it. I personally did not think it was worth hating. I thought that it was actually a decent little YouTube thing. So I was like, okay, take some of the crazy action from like the last bit of the series, you know, and then slap that together with some of the good storyline of actual fucking Halo. And you know what? You got a good little show there. Like it's not like it's that difficult. I mean, it could have been legitimately so much better.
Yeah, but
Hello? There we go.
I'm still
Okay.
here.
It had potential. That's where I'm coming from. In my opinion, it legitimately had potential, and it fucking killed it so fast.
Yeah. Granted, I'm of the mindset of, oh well, I'm not watching a second season of this. I'll happily watch people who review it and hear them complain about it because it probably won't be any better. But I'm not gonna actively take time to watch the series, especially when, you know, I didn't pay for Paramount Plus to watch the show. Look, folks, I make it no secret around here. I am a Yarhar me hardy har pirate for various things, so it should come as no surprise that yes, I did pirate the show. No, I did not care.
My parents already had fucking Paramount Plus, so I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll give it a chance. And why is it so hard for them to just... I just want legit Halo fans to get together, some good story writers, and just make a fucking good Halo show. It's not that difficult. There is plenty of lore. There's good parts of the Halo show that's there, so that's obvious proof that yes, there can be a good fucking show. If you don't want the big budget with Master Chief and all that, fine. Do a show all about Mercenary Guy. I legit forget his name.
I forget his name offhand, too.
Do a show all about him. Holy shit, his life, his background, that's fucking awesome.
Of course, I did hear that the showrunners for that, which, by the way, or was it the showrunner or the writer? I forget which said that they had like 7 seasons of it planned, and I'm like,
7 fucking seasons?
yes. And I
of this?
Yes. Granted, apparently this show went through 3 showrunners. I think it was 3 showrunners because it went through 1 in pre-production, 1 or was it 2? Because one of them left pre-production and 1 left after production wrapped. So I think it's at least 2.
Who left?
I don't know. It was the showrunner. No, the person in charge of the series.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know who. All I know is person in charge left after the show wrapped, and I'm like, well, that's telling.
I just, I just need somebody with an iron foot to be like, nah, this is not how Halo goes. Oh, but we need more. Shut the fuck up. We need more Halo, not more of this drama bullshit.
But the drama is how you get the non-Halo fans to watch this show.
No. This is a fucking Halo show. You want non-Halo fans to get into the show? Fine. Make Halo worth getting into. It already is. All you gotta do is fucking make the show. What in God's... Don't mind me. Like I said, I'm playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a puzzle I'm in the middle of doing.
Hmm.
I mean, like I said, it could have been a really decent show if they would have just stuck to the story of Halo. Now, granted, they wanted to make it something slightly different. Fine. It's a different universe, different events happen. They still lead to the same premise of Halo. They still lead to the Forerunners, they still lead to everything else, but you can make it a different journey. I would have loved a story of Master Chief dealing with all this shit without Spartan Locke or any of them showing up. And also, I thought that this new fucking Halo team, Silver Team, was pretty fucking neat.
I mean, they are essentially Blue Team with different names.
I mean, yeah.
Which
Yeah,
as soon as I realized
thought...
that I'm just like, oh, they're dead then, aren't they? Because that way people won't be upset about it. That didn't turn out to be the case, which I'm like, alright, good. You decide to not do that.
Yeah, like I said, there could have been potential for this show. I legitimately had high hopes for the show because I figured if 343 was willing to give up Master Chief's publicity for a TV show, they would at least oversee it to some degree to allow the show to not fucking turn into a piece of garbage.
Well, it doesn't help that this has been in production hell for... oh, a very long time at this point. Because I believe this technically spawned out of... do you remember when we were supposed to get a Halo movie way back in the day?
No.
With Steven Spielberg at the helm?
Okay, vaguely.
Yeah. This technically spun out of that. Because Spielberg's credits are still on this. And someone said, called foul on me on that in a stream, and I was just like, no, that was the case. I remember the E3 where they announced this.
Wait, what? Someone called foul on stream?
No, that was in someone else's stream, and I mentioned this, and they were like, that was not real. And I'm like, I remember the E3 where they announced this. No, that's not fake. It was a real deal. It was supposed to have a game tie-in and all that, and then it all fell apart. Because they went quiet about it for years. Because for those wondering, it was Halo Chronicle, if I recall correctly.
I feel like I vaguely remember that, actually.
Mm-hmm. This was announced in 2006, I believe.
Jesus, it was in production hell for that long.
Well, this was... Bear in mind, not fully in production hell. Like I said, I believe the series spun out of the production hell that Halo Chronicles went under, because that officially got canned in 2009. But that doesn't mean they haven't been trying to get a Halo thing off the ground since then.
Right.
Because like I said, Spielberg's credits are still on this series. And Halo Chronicle was supposed to have Spielberg, because I remember him getting up on being presented, at E3 talking about this thing. I wish I could find a video of it. Or no, it wasn't Spielberg, it was Peter Jackson, right. Peter Jackson was this. I don't know why I said Spielberg. It's Peter Jackson that was supposed to head up this Halo Chronicle thing. Because guess what actually spun out of the Halo movie plans for that?
What?
At least on the Peter Jackson end. Do you remember District 9?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know how Peter Jackson and was it Caroline Cumming made that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Guess who was supposed to make a Halo movie before that movie?
Peter Jackson.
And Caroline Cumming. Or Cunningham. Guess what they did with all that development time and all that fell through for a Halo movie? They went and made District 9. They've talked about this. There is a Comic-Con panel where they have directly stated, yeah, we were working on a Halo movie. It fell through, so we went and made District 9 with all the time, money, and budget we had.
I mean, fair enough. District 9 wasn't that bad of a movie either.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. There's other people that probably don't like it, but...
Like, this is not like, hearsay. No, Peter Jackson stated this at a Comic-Con panel. I don't have the video for it, but, there's a report of the Comic-Con panel out there. Like, that's legitimate. We were supposed to get a Halo movie via Peter Jackson, and then it just all fell through. So that's what happens with these things sometimes. Oh, come on. Thank you. Shoot. No.
Yeah, I remember my uncle messaging me. He's like, yeah, I've watched the first episode of this Halo show. Have you watched? I was like, oh, I honestly completely forgot that was even coming out. He's like, yeah, it's really good. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I watched, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this, you know, I like I said, I started having high hopes for the show because I was like, yeah, this could end up being really good. Of course, they fuck it up.
My dad ended up watching the show. He did not care for it by the end. And bear in mind, he knows nothing about Halo. If you wanted the most casual, like, appraisal in terms of a Halo fan, like a non-Halo fan, that would be my dad, and he did not like the show by the end. He was like, "This is stupid. I hate it. I'm probably not watching another season of this." And I'm like, "Fair."
Yeah, absolutely fair.
Of course, I'll happily watch another season of the Castlevania show that's on Netflix, because that's been good.
I have watched all of one, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes of it. It's been good so far, though. I like the humor in it.
I think it gets better once they get out of that initial first season into, or I don't really want to call it the first, like, that first season a season. It's more of like a mini series. Like, it doesn't really like start clicking until like they get a proper season of that show going.
Gotcha.
And apparently those same people are working on a Zelda show eventually.
A Zelda show?
Yes.
I
Showrunner said that they're working on it.
know, but are there not red flags for you there?
Not really, because what they presented with Castlevania is faithful to the Castlevania games, while being its own thing.
There.
Like, oh no, blood. Oh no, like, there will be blood in the Zelda show. Oh yeah, that series that has totally not impaled Ganon on a sword several times in very gruesome fashions. That's
Also
fine.
I was saying more so just. Oh shit! Sorry, almost died.
Like, the tone of the Castlevania show is because, like, Castlevania is more of a horror, like, yeah, we're dealing with some messed up stuff, but like, Zelda is a bit more fantasy and less, horror and all that, but like, you can still, that can still translate over.
True. Oh shit!
Of course, I did see a really funny adaptation that CW is trying, because you know how CW's canceled all their DC shows? Mm. Oh, this is... So, take that line from scratch.
Sorry, I know I got quiet. I'm in the middle of
Mm.
fighting fucking ancient things.
That's fine, but you know how DC has canceled all of their or CW has canceled all their DC shows.
They have?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean,
Oh,
that was honestly the only good thing to come out of DC, so
but
boo, I guess.
they're making a new Batman show. Focused on Batman's kid.
Okay.
Would you care to guess which kid?
Not particularly.
Well, you'd be wrong because it's someone made for the show. You know, even though he has a canonical child in the form of
Yes,
Damien.
Damien.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's not about Damien. It's
Who
just
is it?
someone they've made up for the show. Would you like to know the premise?
Sure.
Batman has died.
Okay. Typical.
And because of this, people have now found out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So now his kid, along with these 4 other random people we have grabbed from the comics, one of them is Stephanie Brown, are under suspicions for the murder of Bruce Wayne. And they now have
Bruce Wayne's son.
And these 4 other random people. One of which is also Joker's kid from the comics.
What?
It doesn't sound particularly good. I just found it hilarious. I'm just like, so you're making another Batman show where Batman is Sir not appearing in this show. This is the 3rd time you've done this, CW. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can't fool me. I don't know why you keep wanting to do Batman shows with no Batman, but you keep trying. I guess it's because the first one was so successful. Nintendo, I would like you to announce a direct. Please announce a direct. Not partner showcase, please, this week, please. Nintendo hasn't done a direct this month for not E3 week. Which, you know, isn't necessarily a bad thing because, you know, reports came out that, oh, they're waiting till the end of the month, but now it's apparently a third-party showcase as a direct mini, which, alright.
Wait, who's doing a third-party showcase?
Nintendo.
Oh.
Supposedly, that's nothing confirmed yet.
Am I the only one that kind of laughed when... I laughed when I watched the Sony showcase versus the Xbox showcase. Because this was in my opinion, this was a complete 180 from last year.
Oh, you mean the State of Play versus the Xbox Bethesda showcase?
Yes. This was a fucking complete 180. I honestly thought it was funny.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't come out of either one with a whole lot to be interested in, so...
I mean, there was a lot more in Xboxes, though. And that's the sad 180 part. PlayStation's entire catalog was literally, hey, we're releasing everything to PC.
Well, it's because they learned from Microsoft of, oh, right, that's actually a good strategy. Because that's what Microsoft's been doing for the last, 3-4 years now?
Right, but now all of the diehard console players are losing their argument of, oh, well, we've got these exclusives, and it's like, but they're on PC. Well, we've got these exclusives, but they're gonna be on PC.
Well, it also didn't help that one of Sony's big guns at the moment, which is FFR, or 7R2, was going to be at its own dedicated thing for the anniversary of 7. 6 days later. Which, fair enough. 7R2 looks good. I'm still not on board on this until it's all out and we have an idea of what the fuck's going on, because I watched that 7R2 trailer and I'm like, what the fuck is the deal with Zach? What are you doing with Zach? I don't understand. What is happening? And you keep not explaining it.
I'm just stoked that they're releasing a remaster of Crisis Core. Yes, please.
Well, at least to confirm the thing that people thought was the reason we never got that till now.
What? I don't remember.
So people thought the reason we've never gotten a remaster of Crisis Core is because of Gact.
Because of what?
Gact, the guy who plays Genesis. Well, the guy who does the facial stuff for Genesis and the Japanese voice acting.
Right. What about him?
Let's just say performances involving him are notorious about his contract stuff is notoriously very strict and all that. So yeah, the Lost Judgment games, you know those?
Huh?
The Lost Judgment games, the spinoffs of the Yakuza games.
Uh-huh.
Those are most likely never coming to PC because Gact plays the main character, and there's a thing in his contract about not modifying his, model. Which, can happen on a PC version.
Because of mods, yeah.
Which is why we'll probably never see Lost Judgment on the PC. Stupid, I know.
Are you sure? I could have swore Lost Judgment was on PC.
No. Neither Judgment are on PC.
So it's on PlayStation and Xbox. It's just not on PC.
Yes.
But it's also on Amazon Luna, which is kind of a backwards way of saying it's on PC, kind of.
Right. But it's not going to get put on Steam.
Okay.
Again, stupid, I know, but that's what everyone assumed was the reason we can get Crisis Cores, because, you know, GAC plays Genesis, and some stupid contract bullshit probably prevents them from re-releasing the game ever. And then we get this remaster, and GAC is still Genesis, to the point that, like, 2 days before, GAC showed up at a concert wearing his cosplay of Genesis. So, oh, I guess there is no problem. And I guess also the reason they're doing this is because it will be plot relevant to the 7R games. Because of fucking course it will.
I mean, I'm good with it. Zach's able to come back. Fuck yeah, fuck you, Cloud.
He's technically already back in the 7 remake games. In an alternate timeline. Or co-opt into the main timeline. Or something else. I don't know. All of this just screams Kingdom Hearts bullshit I had to deal with for 15 years, and I'm not doing that shit again. Especially when you refuse to give us any explanation at all. And by God, we're gonna put a teaser in that that Crisis Core reunion game to make you go pick up 7R2, since it comes out this year, and 7R2 is coming out next year. Like, I just want a proper Nintendo Direct, because I would like another, like, mood of a trailer from, like, Breath of the Wild 2, because that first trailer we got for Breath of the Wild 2 was so fucking good. I want another one, so I can be excited for that game when it comes out next year. Because I still think about that trailer. Because that is how good that trailer is on selling you that game. I would like, you know, more information on the Mario's plus Rabbids sequel, because that game has no business being as good as it is. And yes, I will want that sequel day one, please. Please show me more.
Fair enough.
I'd also like some new Pokemon information, because, like, look, I know you're going to tell me that the new dragons turn into motorcycles. I get that. I didn't even need to see the leaks to tell me that that's going to happen. But also, I would like to know more. That probably makes no sense to you, because you probably haven't seen anything for the new Pokemon game.
Nope. Not a damn thing. Great. Yep. I'll get you. Yep. Hang on, I can't hear you if you're talking. Okay, now you can talk.
Alright. I put in the Discord the new dragon, the box art, which features the new dragons.
Heck yeah. Hold on, I'll check them in a sec. I'll check the pictures in a sec.
Find out some. Guess I'll do this small piece first. Yeah. Stupid big one.
Okay.
All right, so they're dragons.
Yep. Do you see the motorcycle bits on them? Or
I
is it-
do.
Yeah.
So
They apparently can
That
turn.
should be fun.
Well, the reason they turn the motorcycles is because this Pokemon game is fully open world, no restrictions on where you can go, and it is 4-player co-op. Like, full floor player co-op.
Damn.
Which,
Nice.
like, I have my concerns because, you know, we're not that far away from Arceus in terms of development time. So I'm like, all right, how much of this is kind of getting hampered by that short development time? So, like...
well, I mean, is it the exact same team?
Here's the problem. I know that Game Freak is a fairly small studio. They're like indie company size studio. And I don't know how that development studio is subdivided. I am assuming there's at least 2 internal development teams within Game Freak. Because at the time of the production of Sword and Shield, they were also working on, I forget the name of the game, but they were working on a separate game that had nothing to do with Pokemon. So that says that there are 2 development teams within Game Freak. Presumably. I don't know for certain.
Okay.
So, assuming that one development team has been working on Sword and Shield and did all of the DLC stuff, and then a separate team was the one that worked on Pokemon Legends Arceus, when that first team wrapped, you know, Sword and Shield DLC stuff, which has been a while now, presumably they're the ones that have been working on Scarlet and Violet. So, that's probably like 2 to 3 years of development. Maybe. But there's a lot of things within Arceus that people have liked. You know, the freeform catch mechanic, the kind of like more open nature about it. People have liked that. I don't know how much of that has been able to translate over to this because, again, those 2 games would have been in development granted at different stages, but they would have been in development at the same time. It's hard to translate those things back and forth to each other, especially when it's untested. Because Arceus is a very different Pokemon game from your standard Pokemon game.
Fair.
Like, this is a game where you can just walk up to a Pokemon, bonk it in the head with a Pokeball, and attempt to catch it. Without even getting into a battle with it. And also, it is kind of Xenoblade in a respect, because there's just Pokemon out there, like, at your level, above your level, way above your level. They're just out there roaming. And you can just walk up to them. Some of them won't want to fight you. Others will take your head off. They will straight up fight you. Not in a Pokemon battle. No, they will fight you. That Ursaring over there sees you, and he will come after you, and he will put you in a pile driver.
Damn.
Not literally, mind you, but yeah, that's the feeling of Arceus, because Arceus is set in the ancient times of the Sinnoh region. So, like, just as Pokemon catching was kind of a thing. So it's kind of frontier, like, this is literally the first Pokedex that has ever been made. And there's a big focus on, like, catching multiple of the same Pokemon to kind of fill out the Pokedex entry to get more information and stuff on it. That's why you're able to just chuck Pokeballs at Pokemon and catch them. Which people have really liked. They also like the single version nature of it. We didn't have 2 versions, which we're back to 2 versions, because 2 versions is kind of a Pokemon standard, unfortunately. But I've got questions, and those questions just are gotta be answered at some point, because it's the very nature of the game. That doesn't mean I'm not
Fair enough.
interested, but the talk's gotta happen, Game Freak, please. Especially when it is dated for this year.
Huh.
And it seems like Scarlet and Violet is the big Switch game for this year, because they have pulled a date switcheroo for 2 other major titles, because originally Splatoon 3 was supposed to come out next month. Well, assumingly it was supposed to come out next month. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was supposed to come out in September, I believe. They have swapped their release dates. Now Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes out next month, and Splatoon 3 comes out in September. Why? No one knows. All we know is that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was just like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not coming out in September, we're coming out like 3 months early. All I know is that apparently Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has been done for a while. Like, done for a while. Which is why Monolith is completely comfortable with releasing this as soon as they, like, with that 3-month, like, jump ahead. Because they did a big direct this past week that pretty much went, here is 24 minutes to sell you on the video game, because we're giving you everything you need to know about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 before you jump into this game. If you are not sold in this 24 minutes, then this game is not for you. Because we're telling you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Which, personally speaking, I didn't need that. I was already sold on the game, because I've played 1 and 2. I don't need to be sold on 3. But thank you anyway for the information dump.
Fair enough.
Because 3 looks to be very good.
Oh, by the way, have you tried getting League set up to where we can all play?
I have not. Tommy pointed out to me yesterday, because we talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I probably have it installed, and then he reminded me, your whole computer troubles you had earlier this year, and I'm like, fuck yeah, you're right, it might not even be properly installed anymore. Shit.
Might want to get it installed.
Yeah.
Because I will be free for the next 2 weeks, minus Minus moments that I have to walk away from the computer to deal with Annalise.
Mm-hmm.
Who, by the way, if you do not know, that is my daughter that will be born at the very latest Wednesday, I believe.
Mm.
We're hoping that we go naturally, but if not, she'll have to be induced soon because she does have gestational diabetes.
Mm.
So we will be welcoming our daughter Annalise into the world.
Seeing if my
So yeah,
dog's gonna...
that's happening for me.
Yeah. I was seeing if my dog was gonna knock on my door again. I just heard him knock. Probably have to go let him out here in a second. But have you tried any of the Xenoblades? Or any Xeno game in general, I guess, technically?
No, I have not.
Mm.
I've heard about them, but yeah.
They're very good. I got in on 2 and really enjoyed it. And so I went back and played 1 when the definitive edition came out for Switch. I just wrapped that up this past week. Because I wanted to get it done before 3 came out, because 2 of the characters in the game look very similar to the characters from both of those games, and a lot of other stuff about the game seems to be a merger of these 2 games, and we're not going to tell you specifically why that's the case, but we are hoping you do notice, because it might be plot relevant. We're just not going to tell you, because that might be the twist of the game. Because essentially, if you played 1 and 2, if you've looked at anything from 3, you'll have noticed that, because 3 is about these 2 warring nations, one side looks to be very Xenoblade Chronicles 1 themed, like, heavily, and the other is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 themed heavily, and it's like, you're doing this on purpose. To the point that the main people in charge of these regions look directly like party members from the respective games. That in this game, that is supposedly, years and years and years and years after both games have happened, would still be kicking. So, that's a question.
Yeah, that's weird.
Sure. Because, again, Monolith have not said anything about these connections and stuff. They've been hush, hush, quiet, quiet. But, when the key art...
What?
The key art for the games?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh, I was explaining it. But when the key art for the game,
I'm
pulling it up on stream. Because I need to pull up all 3 of them, because it's important. Dip. What is the order of these? There we go. That is a terrible picture of 3's key art. God damn it. Is there a better one? This is taking a little bit. Can I get a large one? That'll do. And of course, it's got the wrong Firefox.
Can you post it on Discord, please?
Yeah, 1 second, I'm getting it.
For some reason, the stream's not wanting to come up on my phone. I don't know why.
Alright, so here is Chronicles 1 key art, with the Mechonis, which is a big giant machine-based titan that life lives on because that's how large it is. He has a big giant sword that he has stabbed into the Bionis, which is where you're standing on from the perspective of this key art. Just for reference. You are also living on a big giant titan. Bear in mind that sword part. Here is the key art for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You have one of the titans, which again are these big humongous creatures that people live on and stuff. This is the Orion Titan, specifically. So, got those in mind? All right.
Uh-huh.
Well, come on. But not gonna... Did you just post it as a link in Discord?
It did.
God damn it, 1 second. Here is 3's key art. That is the Orion Titan cleaved in twain by the Mechonis' sword from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. That's strange, isn't it? And all they've said is, oh yeah, we're merging things from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. And that's it. They haven't said much more. They've been like, oh yeah, there's the Titan sword. There's the Orion Titan that is cleaved in twain. We're not going to say why that's the case. We're just going to say that is. And guess what? As your party in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, guess what your main objective is given to you at the start of the game?
What?
You're heading to a place called Sword March. Guess where Sword March is located?
Where?
At the base of where that sword is punched in the ground. Because literally, Sword March is that place where the sword, the big fuck-off sword is.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a little literal on the naming scheme by being called Sword March.
So, okay, are the Xenoblade Chronicles game, they are chronological, that they do take place in the same world?
That's where things get tricky. Technically,
Okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 are happening at the same time in 2 different universes that are connected to each other because of a particle accelerator accident that happened in the previous version of the world.
Okay.
So technically they
3?
should... We don't know for certain. That's the problem.
Okay.
We know from the end of 1, because this is going to get into spoiler, folks, so buckle in. So at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, there is a world reset that allows for the people of the Bionis and the Mechonis to live in one place together, and allows them to, like, live in peace. We don't know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Because, universe shenanigans shit. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, we know that all of the Titans merged together, literally just ran into each other and just merged lands together into one land that all of the residents then took up lives on. No universe hopping shenanigans potentially. But again,
Okay.
like I said, these 2 universes are directly connected to each other, and they are also happening at the same time. There is a moment in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, towards the end of the game, where you are hearing the main party of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 in the neighboring universe going to do their final battle against the bad guy version of the guy you're talking to.
Oh my.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles goes some fucking places.
Yeah.
So now here we have 3 with supposedly these worlds merged. Which, again, how? What? Wait, when did that happen? We have characters in charge of these two separate regions that look like, when I say that they look like directly the two of your party members from their respective games, I do mean literally the respective party members from their games. It just also happens to be coincidentally the female characters that are not the love interests that headcanon-wise got spurned because the main character fell in love with the other main female character. So that's not a coincidence at all, I guess.
I'm okay.
But also, there's apparently this whole, like, overseer group of people that seem to be pulling the strings of both nations. And a thing from the direct may or may not suggest time loop? Or at the very least, the thing that they're doing has been happening for a while? Because all of your party members, they're all test tube babies. Because the soldiers of both sides are just grown in test tubes until they're 10 years old. And then they're trained to be child soldiers. And then they're given 10 years to live. And after that 10 years, if they did good service, congratulations, you get sent off in glory. If not, well, you died on the battlefield, I guess. Goodbye.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Like I said, Xenoblade goes places. Because the Xeno games just don't pull any fucking punches.
They go a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. It gets even
This
better.
This game seems very dark for the cutesy art style.
Oh, you mean the anime art style? Yeah.
This game seems extremely dark for the art style.
I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 1, within the first 3 hours, one of your main characters is just straight up murdered brutally.
But like, you look at this art style and you're like, oh, blue skies, grass, sword, it's gonna be a fun adventuring action game. And then you hear all this and you're like, oh, that's a lot of death.
Well, it gets better because the main female character for this game, she's technically older than the rest of the cast, and she's been timestamped to have about 3 months to live. Because that's how much of her time span she has. Yeah. Everyone else has slightly more than that, mind you. But she's the one that is going to go first out of the 6 of them. Because she's the one with specifically 3 months to live. Everyone else probably has, probably somewhere closer to like 12.
Holy fuck.
Yep. Also, the pairs of them can fuse together into giant robots. That's
what?
a game. That's a gameplay. Yes. That's a thing.
Okay.
Xenoblade.
I'm just gonna say okay. I think that's the best option for me at this point.
Xenoblade Chronicles is really good because Nintendo have realized that Monolith Soft does good work, and they're like, "Hey, can you make us our version of Final Fantasy that is just a series of RPGs that have loose connections to each other?" And they're like, "Sure, but we're gonna make them harder connections."
To be honest, I feel like that's better anyway, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the big things that aggravates me about Final Fantasy is there are people that legitimately look at Final Fantasy and go, "Oh, that's been going for a while. If I want to understand, I should probably play from 1, but that's a lot." And it's just like, no, you don't understand. You don't have to play another game at all to understand. Even the games that are connected in universe, you can play them all on their own and be completely okay.
Well, that's the fun thing with Xenoblade. You can technically play 1 or 2 without knowing the other plot, because that's the twist that makes you go, oh, I should go play the other game then to get the other half of the story. Or maybe get some more context. Because the whole twist about, oh, you're connected universes doesn't happen until, like, the end of 2.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Tommy.
Also, took long enough.
I noticed you from the beginning.
I had to pitch Xenoblade Chronicles a little bit, because, 3 comes out next month.
I mean, fair. And I also see we have a picture of Pokemon bikes.
Yes. We have had, the conversation has went places. Because I got to tell Glock about how the Halo show went. Because he didn't finish it.
I've not watched the finale, so...
I managed to stop the episode before they diddled. Completely by accident, mind you. I just forgot to keep watching, and then all of a sudden the news fucking blows up everywhere. Master Chief got laid, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
You know, that's probably the worst thing that any series can actually have said about it. The simple fact that you forgot about it.
Yeah.
It is forgettable. I'm not faulting you. That is full on the show's fault.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's not even like it's bad forgettable. It's just not. The action scenes were the only memorable thing to me. I thought the action scenes were fucking cool. But the show itself, meh.
It's one of those.
Oh, and what's her name?
Anyone that has played the games, I almost feel like it would be smarter just to be like, hey, yeah, if you want to watch the show, just skip the first season because it's not really going to do anything for you.
Yeah. Oh, but you need to know why Master Chief's mute.
I mean, we don't need. How many episodes of it had butts in it?
At least I'm gonna say 6 of 9.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ass in that show for some reason, and I don't know why.
Both in the writing and actual.
You know, the funny thing about that is the fact that when I first saw, I believe it was the episode where Cortana's first implanted into him and it shows his ass. I literally looked at it and went, why the fuck is this necessary? She was implanted into his neck, which, by the way, fuck you all, that's not how Cortana works. Anyway.
Okay, but you've got to give it the concept of different take on it.
I do not care. That is not how Cortana works.
I mean,
that is not how AI in general work in fucking Halo.
They go way farther than that, to be honest. That is like the least egregious thing they do with Cortana in that series, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. From what I understand, she straight up cucks herself.
Yeah.
Apparently she just sits there and watches them fuck.
I forgot about that. Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part of the scene. Right. Oh, God damn it.
And you know, it would have been bad enough if it was just implied that she knew it happened, but the simple fact that the show made it a point to show her staring off like, oh my God, I have to deal with this.
Like, they're saying she feels all of that, right? Because I'm pretty sure she can. Oh my God.
Yeah, supposedly.
I forgot about that part. Right. That scene somehow just cascades into, this is such bad writing.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And like I said,
I feel like it is? I feel like it's a case of they felt they had to make a show that fit the age rating of the games, except they didn't have to go that far.
Well, I think another problem was what Peace actually hit on a little bit was they were also trying to appeal to people that don't necessarily that are not necessarily huge fans of Halo, that just see the show and go, let's try it.
Very funny joke. Very funny joke.
Yeah,
If you
especially
don't at least loosely know the game's going into it, you are going to be completely lost on the entire cast.
which is accurate because I have my dad
Yeah.
as an example, and he did not understand one goddamn thing about the show 2 episodes in.
Well,
That's one of those. That is a funny joke, and when they try to use that, it is like no.
I thought it was like I told Peace. I had this long spiel of this show could have been good, and it's honestly not the worst. It's just meh. It could have been better if they would have just taken notes from, in my opinion, one of the better shows to come out of the Halo lore, which is Forward Unto Dawn, which was a simple, small little YouTube show that was really just a fucking hour-long movie that was split into parts. That was a decent show. If they would have taken the story layout from the fucking Halo TV show about Locke, please, for the love of God, find better writers, because that show was god awful, but just the story layout.
The biggest problem they had with it stemmed from out the gate, them saying that it was actually going to be something that wasn't directly tied to the games and the current universe. The
They said
moment that was said, that was the problem.
Yeah, I think they're calling this the Silver Timeline or something like that.
Yeah, because
And-
Jim's team is Silver Team instead of Blue Team.
Yeah. And
If they had just stuck to what was already there.
I still say they could have gone with the Silver Timeline. They could have gone with all of this if they would have stuck to the basic idea of getting to the Forerunners.
No, we have to take 3 seasons to get there. That's the problem.
Well,
Okay,
I mean, to be
but this
fair,
whole
to properly
first
talk
season-
about the Forerunners, we took 4 games to get there, so just saying.
Yes, but the problem I'm having is this whole season has been it's taken so many liberties that it's just been absurd.
Instead of trying to be different, they should have tried to be similar.
Yeah,
It should have followed the same major events of the books, the games, all the material going for the universe.
Yeah, with
but
small changes
treated
to
it-
how the story got there.
And kind of treated it like they were similar universes kind of deal.
Instead, they went whole butterfly effect and went, by the way, since this is happening, fuck everything. And Chief gets laid. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
why?
The simple fact that you said about you forgot to finish watching the show speaks volumes.
Marvel had my interest peaked far more because Moon Knight was coming out around the same time.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I know a lot of people don't very much care for Moon Knight. That a lot of people said that it was kind of boring. I thought it was a pretty good take on Moon Knight.
I know why the consensus is there, and I get that side of it, but at the same time, I think everyone should have took the Marvel glasses off, and then they probably would have liked it more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I think the problem that we've hit is if the new thing isn't tied to the old stuff, then we don't like it. They've built it so hard on that. Because literally Moon Knight's the only thing in Phase 4 that doesn't blatantly say, yeah, this is taking place after XYZ.
True.
I was about to say Eternals as well, but no, they make references, but
They make references too.
yeah.
I'll be 100. I'll be 100% honest. Eternals should not have been a movie.
It literally boils down to that's more than likely the reason why everyone's kind of got mixed opinions on Moon Knight.
Out of everything that Marvel has made, Eternals is the only Marvel movie that does not feel like a Marvel movie at all, and that's why it's bad. Normally, if you say, "Oh, that doesn't feel like a Marvel movie," that could be a good thing depending on the movie. With Eternals, it is fucking atrocious. I don't know why, but like from start to end, I watched that movie going, if this just didn't have the name Eternals
I know
and
why
they
it's a
changed a few
problem.
things up, it would have been fine.
I know why it's a problem. They could have kept a lot of the concepts there. If it had been like a 9-episode Disney Plus series instead, that would have worked far better. They could have
Yeah.
fleshed out everything that they had to speed through.
Absolutely.
And
I mean,
I don't feel like at the core Eternals was bad. I think the way that they had to do it was bad.
that's fair. I
Because we got bum rush on everything in that movie, and it's like what?
yeah,
I'll be honest.
I
I've
had
never
this-
watched Internals.
It is-
never looked good enough to care.
Do you know what Eternals? You know what Eternals did for the Marvel universe? In all honesty,
Introduce their discount Justice League.
no. Blade and the Black Knight. That's it. The very last scene, the end credits scene, is the only thing that I took away from Eternals that had any fucking point to it. Because the Black Knight, the dude that becomes the Black Knight, looks at his sword, which is the
Ebony Blade. I
fuck.
think.
Yeah, and it's a cursed blade. It feeds on darkness and hatred, and the entire point of the Black Knight is he's fighting his own hatred to be a superhero while also trying to not give in to the sword. Anyway, and Blade, because at the very end, Black Knight is looking at his sword and going, finally, and he goes to reach for it, and then you hear in the background, you hear Blade go, "Are you sure you're ready for this?" A small 30 to 40 second scene is all I took out of Eternals. Everything else is fucking throwaway.
I feel like they wanted to have more set up with it, but at the same time, it's just not there.
It just fell through. Like, there was stuff that could have been great, but everything felt like we were hopping from spot to spot to spot with very loose connections.
And I mainly blame the fact that we've got too big of a cast there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go too far into why I feel that way, because I feel like the movie pretty much justifies why I say that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go too far into that one, but yeah.
I will say, though, oddly enough, I didn't mind Angelina Jolie in that movie. Normally, I always have some kind of problem with her in certain movies, but she did a pretty decent job in her role there.
I mean, that's also not saying a whole lot.
I mean, it's not, but what I'm saying is, compared to some of the other actors, Angelina Jolie's not the problem, which is a rare occurrence in her films.
I mean, what, 2.5 hour movie and if she was in the movie for more than about 15 minutes, I'd be surprised.
Fair.
And I don't mean consecutively.
Fair.
But you ready to transition?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna take the stream down. I'll be right back, folks.